Welcome back to another edition of the Old Switcheroo Marvel Snapshot. In this show, I'm going to be making decks based on Marvel properties from the MCU and discussing the deck and discussing the MCU entry. So today we are doing Ironheart, released on Disney Plus. The premiere, or I should say, the season finale was about a week ago. And for the deck today, I am calling it Reduce, Reuse, Riri. So what we got here is we have a couple of cards directly from the show. We have the Hood, right? Played by Anthony Ramos in the show, or as I like to know him, Usnavi from In the Heights. And then you've got Riri herself, Ironheart. Those two cards are obviously a no duh. The rest got tricky. I kind of had to have a lot of proxies in here because most of the comic characters in the show don't actually have Marvel Snap representation. So instead of Natalie, which is Riri's AI played by Lyric Ross, we have the Astral Projection card. Um, I considered using Mystique because of the whole mimicking thing, and it really fit well with a Wong version of this deck. But I'm like, Natalie is literally a projection, right? And so, how can I not use the card that's about astral projection? So I put that in there. Um, and Lyric Ross, I loved her from This Is Us. So good as Natalie, right? Stole the show, stole the whole show as far as I'm concerned. Um, so had to get a card representing her, even though it's Doctor Strange. Couldn't look more different than Lyric Ross, but the holographic or astral projection card, that's going to be her. Um, Ezekiel Stain, um, Alden Ehrenreich, right? Also not a card in Marvel Snap, but I was really happy to see that I had an Electro card that really looked like him. If you look at that character from the last episode, I think the second to last episode is when he gets his electricity powers. He looks almost exactly like this, like the electricity, the baldness, which I obviously relate to. Uh, and then, I mean, if you didn't read it in description, full spoilers, right? The big twist of the show, Mephisto. Mephisto not in Marvel Snap yet. So I was considering Mr. Negative, but that seemed kind of cheating because A, it went too perfectly with the Hood and Ironheart. Uh, but like we're gonna get Mr. Negative in the MCU universe, right? So I felt like I had to go with the one that was closer to Mephisto energy, which is Nightmare. And this guy is my nightmare. This card has made it so difficult. Him and Electro both made it very difficult to build a deck around. And I think, like the Ironheart show, this deck kind of works. Like, it has its moments, like the Ironheart show, but overall, kind of sloppy. I'll be surprised if we win many games with it. Um, that's so, yeah, I'm going with Nightmare to represent Sasha Baron Cohen's um, Mephisto from that show. So, um, let's give it a try. These other cards here, are just synergies for it. So we got um, Carnage to destroy Electro, potentially also to eat Ironheart after she's been used up. Carnage could eat Nightmare. Viper could send these cards over that I don't want. Viper could send over a -3 Hood. Viper could send over Electro, right? And then we got this bottom row of cards: Misery, Sentry, Attuma, and Sersi. All things to deal with the negative power on my board or potentially the debilitating Electro. Um, a lot of players hate getting Electroed. So if you just send them Electro, the pain of only being able to play one card a turn, they'll just retreat. You know, hand and foot. Is that the saying? That's not the saying. Maybe it is. Um, but Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, everyone seems to be really liking it. I always thought the Mephisto character was kind of hokey. So, and also, someone leave a comment if you know why the devil loves pizza so much in the Marvel universe. Definitely seemed to be a thing. All right, so let's try the Ironheart deck out. See if we can't win a game or two. Merlin, the Merlin card is also here to deal with the potential, cards I don't want on my side. So we'll start off by playing Merlin. I guess I'll play Merlin in the Quantum Realm. I always like to play cards that are near to power. Um, so I'm only sacrificing one power to get something in the field there. Okay, he's doing it in a lizard deck. Speaking of Merlin, I think we can all agree the most fun thing about Ironheart was the whole tech versus magic thing. I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, should I play Carnage to eat him? Yeah, I could. I could. I could also Omniversal Presence. Um, yeah, I'll Omniversal Presence and then Carnage eat. Um, I liked the ending of Ironheart. I liked Riri taking the devil's deal to bring her friend back because it fit with how much Natalie meant to her. You know what I mean? Um, okay. I have an idea for my next play here. We're gonna Sentry to double all that power, and then we will Viper it over and see if that discourages them enough. So let's snap. And that's also the thing about this deck. Um, you know, like the cards I play a lot aren't from the Ironheart show. Okay, he's gonna get a big anti-venom. And then Sentry. If you want to know my thoughts on Sentry, check out our other video when I did this for Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts deck I think made a bit more sense than this one. All right. You think they're gonna retreat? Let's Viper that Void over and see how they react. Their username certainly implies that they'll be easily discouraged. Okay, take the Void. Oh, Cassandra Nova getting doubled. Not not that good. Let's see, who are we gonna get from Grand Central Station? Astral Projection. Okay, hey, she actually did the thing. Natalie imitated Ironheart, right? That's what we want. Okay, so what's the play now? What's the play now? Attuma, I don't really have anything I want Attuma to kill, although I certainly have the power to do it. I don't know if this is stupid or not. Oh, it's the final turn. It's the final turn. Okay, focus. Um, if I put Attuma here, no. What do I want to do? I could double the Attuma, get to 20 here. At least I'm winning one of the lanes. Do I try it? I feel like retreating's not fun for people to watch. So let's give it a try. Go to 20. Okay. 27. Nah. We didn't win this one. I didn't think we were going to win it either. Probably should have pressed the mute button. Would you... What would you do if you accidentally created an AI of your deceased loved one? That, I thought, was such a good moral dilemma. And I'll be very curious to see how Natalie reacts to bringing being brought back from the dead. You know what I mean? But then also, her Mephisto wish at the end. Did that get rid of the AI, or did it turn the AI into a living person? You know what I mean? Or are there two Natalies? That would have been interesting. If there was a living Natalie and the AI Natalie, and they have to like coexist. I'd be intrigued to see that. I don't know if they have those kind of ideas brewing, but that's the thing. I feel like the Ironheart show raised a lot of interesting ideas. Um, Probably the most disappointing of which was the Hood, Anthony Ramos. Fine job with the acting. I thought he was kind of scary as he started getting demonic towards the end, but I feel like it was a little simple. The whole like, oh, the devil's corrupting me powers and all that stuff. I kind of would have liked a little more nuance with that. All right, so Carnage just ate Electro, which is exactly what we were hoping would happen. So now I have an extra power going in. So let's reuse the hood powers. Um, I'm gonna get another demon, so let's see. Let's see how this will go. But yeah, I just feel like he was so cut and dry, like, you all betrayed me, and the devil turns me against my loved ones. And the hood could have been such an interesting metaphor, like a false sense of security or drug addiction or sacrificing you know what I mean? I feel like the demon itself wasn't really enough of a character. We got like little whispers of it in his brain, but I don't think I don't think that idea really cooked long enough, as my students would say. Okay. So here's an Attuma over there, messing stuff up. See what happens if I do this. We're gonna put another demon in the center to try to win middle, and then Sersi's gonna evolve Carnage into something bigger. That was a lot of cards that Morgan Le Fay brought her back. Oh, okay, okay. So they're gonna give up on the right hand lane. They're not gonna play into Negasonic. So I feel like the move that would make the most sense is to put Merlin here so we win that lane handily. And then Iron Lad? Which, by the way, kind of cool. I got Iron Lad randomly during the Ironheart stream. Recording? What do you call it when you're not streaming live? Let's give it a try. Okay, this is potentially good. No! Oh, gosh, dang it. I sent them a demon. I sold my soul, and the demon betrayed me, just like in the show. Right? Okay. Even if you don't like this series, seeing Riri come back as an antagonist with the demonic hood over her Iron Man suit, tell me you wouldn't watch that. You'd freaking watch that. Yeah, they got us. And their Dakan got quite large. um, like I said, it's not the best deck. And it wasn't the best show. You know what I mean? Like, I really thought the first half wasn't really grabbing me. I didn't really like the heist crew, and I think for like a heist show, you really need to like the crew. Um, but then in the second half, when Riri started battling her depression, um, Iron Man 3 was like the Tony has panic attacks. It felt very sloppy in that one, didn't it? Can't we all agree on that? The whole PTSD thing on Iron Man 3 was very kind of half-assed. Um, I don't think they really let it build enough to be believable. Um, and it was kind of resolved too easily. In Ironheart, I feel like we got to see her anxiety building, and Dominique Thorne, right, as she gets more and more deep in over her head, she does a good job of seeing like the panic behind her eyes and really freaking out about it. Um, to the point that when the episode where she comes up and she says, "Mom, I need your help," I like teared up just because I love that moment when a character, you know, um, finally opens up. It's just really cathartic, I think, in an amazing way. First time trying out the ripoff card, Kid Omega. Let's snap. Because now I get to use Kiddo Attuma's power without the negative side. Okay. The extra turn often benefits this deck. I get more Merlin powers. So this might actually work in my favor. Ooh, I could maybe even trick them, right? If I save this Omniversal Presence, they might not realize that the game's going to end early. So what is the move? Let's think about this logically. Sentry there. And then I will once in future to get rid of the void, right? And then next turn, we will change the location and they won't get that extra turn they're counting on. It might see my Merlin and know I'm going to do that, though, but also we have the extra energy advantage. I think I'm going to pull the rug out from under them. Oh, are they also doing an Ironheart deck? Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, definitely Omniversal Presence. And then I might as well try to get higher, right? So what's the play? Riri to give them all +2. And then Polymorph? Oh man, this is risky. What do I do? I don't want to kill it. But if I Astral Project, I could get an even stronger. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to listen to the message of the show. Let's give it a try. Oh, God. Okay.
Iron Man.
Okay, we ain't winning that one, but I think that'll give Merlin +2. Okay. And then we did it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ironheart. Sticks the landing somehow. Just like Ironheart itself. So I'll put the deck code in here. Give it a try if you want. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you agree with me that Ironheart, it was all right. And the deck, I think we got lucky, but it's all right as well. So that's the review. Ironheart is a deck. Ironheart is a show. Could be worse. Don't forget to visit www.theoldswitcheroo.com where you can see more of my Marvel Snap content and our quest to research and review all 300 plus Nintendo Classics game on the Nintendo Switch Online service. All right. Have a good night, everybody.